When starting a project, baseline surveys and focus groups comprised of a representative sample of your intended beneficiaries are key. For example, if a project is intended to empower youth to feel they have a role in decision making, the first major activity needs to include surveys and focus groups of youth discussing their key challenges and roadblocks to be taken seriously in their community. Implementation plans can then be developed using those answers. Same can be said for stakeholders. You may be implementing an agriculture project in a specific region of a country. Even if your direct beneficiaries are people living in rural villages, the regional government has a vested interest in project implementation and may have specific insights that will help you avoid traps. Ensuring they are at the table during the planning phase will most certainly help in the long run. The staffing structure you set up for your project is key to ensuring employees feel empowered to think broadly and innovate during implementation. It's not enough to just hire the most qualified individuals. They need to be given the space to perform. Component leads may report up to the deputy chief of party, who then answers to the chief of party, but those senior managers should provide a platform upon which their staff can implement and adjust as needed. But still, many times projects are unfortunately held back due to requirements from the donor. This is where the senior managers need to be ready and willing to advocate for their project and their staff. It's very difficult to get things exactly right at the proposal stage of a project. Sometimes I like to joke that the business development professionals are up in the clouds, while implementers need to bring things back down to ground level. Continuous change is the only way to ensure the best results. When implementing a youth livelihoods project in sub-Saharan Africa, we realized that there was a huge gender gap at the leadership level of the village savings and loans associations we had created. It took some time to recognize our error, but we found that the requirements for the leadership positions said the person needed to read and write. In this area, there was a large gap between the literacy levels of men and women, so women were afraid to step up to those positions. We removed this requirement and instead ensured that each VSLA had a literate secretary to keep minutes. We immediately saw the results and within a few months had women taking on many leadership roles. Our organization has since applied this knowledge to other projects where we could run into the same situation. Especially when you're dealing with gender considerations, it's important to understand what systematic issues may end up adversely impacting implementation. Organizations need to capture their successes and develop scalable models of implementation. It is extremely attractive to showcase your unique way of implementing in a certain context, but then intelligently explain how this model can transfer to a completely different context and still produce results. We had major success with adapting community-led total sanitation to keep our project communities Ebola-free during the recent outbreak in Liberia. CLTS is not something brand new, but our adaptation ended up saving countless lives. These types of examples would be extremely attractive to donors.